working on getting Roku set up as well. So if you guys can do me a big favor, make sure if you know anyone near the Fort Smith, the Van Buren area, that they're taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here, guys. So bear with me for just a minute here. I'm working on getting that set up for, let's see here. Let me do something real quickly here. I'm working on getting the Roku side of things up, and then we're going to be good to go. So give me just 1 second, Rooney here. Okay. Hang on. Give me 1 second, because it looks like I just got the notification for YouTube. So just trying to make sure that we're set up on all of our platforms real quickly here. And looks like we are. Let me double check a couple of things here. And let me get this taken care of real fast here, and then I think we should be good to go. So give me just 1 second. Should be coming up here shortly. For those that are going to be watching on Roku, should be coming up here in just a second here, guys. So there we go, and it looks like we should be coming up on Roku here shortly. YouTube is up, Facebook is up, so we're good to go here, guys. Okay, so like I said before, we got a tornado warning ongoing near the Fort Smith area at this current time. Let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the area of rotation here. So similar to what we dealt with up there in Siloam Springs this morning, we've got an area of rotation that's just to the west of Van Buren, south and west of Cedarville, or just to the west and northwest of Fort Smith. This activity will be moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour here. So anyone in these areas, make sure they're taking their tornado precautions immediately. When we talk about those tornado precautions, by the way, that's getting to that center, lowest point of your home, putting as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible, and getting to that lowest, most interior part of your home immediately. That could be an area, that could be a kid's room, that could be a bathroom, a closet, etc. But you want to get away from the windows. You don't want to go into a crawl space or anything like that here. So, Lori, give me just a little bit. I just turned on Roku, so it may take a second or two for the Roku side to kick on. Let me double check on my side over here. Looks like we're up on my side, so it may take a second or two for it to kick up on the channel itself. Just keep me updated. If it doesn't pull up within the next 5 minutes, just let me know. But this is what we've got ongoing right now here. So the Van Buren area, the Alma area, Mulberry, make sure that you take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible, and get to that lowest center part of your home immediately at this current time here, guys. So let me do a couple things. Got a friend up here in Northwest Arkansas. Make sure she's good to go. We're good to go in terms of keeping folks up there updated on the tornado warning here, guys. So just looking at this right now here, this is what we call a kill CS, pretty much along the line itself. We talked about this last night, that there could be that brief weak spin up along the line. This is pretty much what it's going to be as this moves into Arkansas here. So the Cedarville area, Alma, Mulberry, over towards Van Buren, just to the north and west of downtown Fort Smith. I know the sirens are probably going off in Fort Smith right now. I want to reassure you guys, it looks like the area of rotation itself should pass just to the north and west of Fort Smith, but that's something that we're just going to have to continue to monitor over the next 30 minutes to the next hour or so here. So let's take a look at a couple of things here. And this is going to be, I'm not trying to look at that. Let's take a look at the wind gust here. And this is going to be capable of producing about 60, almost to 65 mile per hour winds, regardless if this thing produces a tornado or not here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it as it continues to move out towards the east. I know we had a power issue up there in northwestern Arkansas earlier on with the line of storms that moved through that produced 70 mile per hour winds up there here. So give it just a second here. We should be going back to this. There we go. So I want to take a look at your rotation strength here. Should be coming up here in just a second. This is showing pretty decent rotation just to the west of the Van Buren area, Alma, the Mulberry area here. So we'll keep an eye on this. Right now, I have not heard anything in terms of any confirmation or anything like that. Let me double check. Lori, if you could do me a favor and see if Roku is pulling up. If it's not, then I know what to do. I'll have to go in and switch some stuff. But let me know if the Roku and Fire TV is working right now here. I know we should be live on Facebook, and we should be live on YouTube here. Let me double check. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. We're good to go here, guys. Okay, so Like I said before, if you're just now tuning in, this is going to be for our folks over here in Western Arkansas. This is not impacting anywhere else in the state. This is not in Little Rock or Hot Springs or anywhere else except for our folks over here in Western Arkansas. I know we did have a tornado warning earlier on near the Solon Springs area up here. That tornado warning has been dropped. It has been replaced with a regular severe thunderstorm warning up here. But for right now, our tornado warning is going to be for our folks just to the west and to the northwest of the Fort Smith area here at this current time here, guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn on the road network here, guys. And this is pretty much where it's going to be tracking over here. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom down real quickly here. So this is going to be, give me 1 second here. That's going to be near Dora Road, or the community of Dora. Looks like it's about to cross over from the eastern Oklahoma side into western Arkansas here. So Van Buren, anyone that's traveling on Highway 162 right now, this also includes Interstate 40. Anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 right now between the community of Dora and also the community of Alma, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. I know, realize it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Not a lot of people are up. Most people, especially, get up around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, get ready for work. I know it's Friday. Most are either off of work, etc. Wake them up, text them, call them, do whatever you got to do to get their attention here, especially in the Van Buren area. My folks in Fort Smith, what I would recommend doing, you guys are not directly under the tornado warning right now. Looks like the tornado warning is just to your north and west. However, if you're traveling right now, especially on 540, I wouldn't recommend it right now. If you are traveling, I would try to find a gas station, grocery store. There could be some restaurants that are open this early in the morning over there in the Van Buren area and the Alma area and Fort Smith. Make sure that you're getting to your safe spots immediately here. This is a situation that you're not going to see the tornado. This is if there were to be a tornado, it is going to be rain wrapped along the line of storms that's moving out from eastern Oklahoma and into western Arkansas here. So Dora, Van Buren, anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 right now in the Alma area, make sure that you're taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible here. Looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible now. This is south of Fort Smith, not taking anything away from the ongoing tornado warning up there just to the north, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible. That's going to go from the Mansfield area, Hartfield, the Hackett area just to the south and west of the Greenwood area. This is also going to include Highway 71 that runs out from Y-City all the way up into the Fort Smith area. So anyone that's traveling right now, 253, Highway 71, make sure, even though this is not an official tornado warning, make sure that they're seeking shelter immediately as well, because this thing could be capable of producing a tornado at any given moment here. So let's take a look at this. Like so before, there's the area of rotation. That's right there on Highway 31. This is over here in eastern Oklahoma. And then this is the ongoing tornado warning. The reason why we're live right now, it's going to be because of this ongoing tornado warning that's just to the north of Fort Smith. That does include Van Buren, Alma, the Keyber area, anyone on Interstate 40 right now. Also, anyone that is traveling on, I do believe that is going to be, 282, I do believe, in this area here. So it looks like the area of rotation is now crossing the Oklahoma-Arkansas border. It's going to be moving into Arkansas coming up here shortly. What I'm going to do as well, because like so before, I know we got a lot of folks that are tuning in right now trying to figure out where this is. I'm going to turn on the the county names, so that way you guys kind of get a familiarize with where this is right now. So this is going to be kind of riding along the Sebastian-Crawford County line, mainly in Crawford County here. This is going to be moving into southern Crawford County. Keep an eye on this here, because it's not only going to move into Crawford County, but if the area of rotation continues, it could pose a problem for our folks downstream near the Ozark area along Interstate 40 and in Franklin County. So we'll keep an eye on this potential rotation here. Let's go ahead and go back over to the normal way that you would look at radar. Give me just 1 second, make sure we're good to go so you guys kind of see what's... There we go. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now here. Like I mentioned before, this is going to be the area of rotation. Folks that are going to be trying to go out and see this, you're not going to see anything. All you're going to see is a wall of rain and a ton of clouds out there. And by the time you see the circulation itself, it's going to be way too late here. This is a situation that you don't want to mess around with, because the area of rotation is embedded within the line of storms that is pushing out from eastern Oklahoma into western Arkansas. So if you try to go outside and see it, kind of similar to what happened up there in Siloam Springs earlier on this morning, where we had the tornado warning, we had the area of rotation come out of eastern Oklahoma. You're not going to see anything. Pretty much what you see on our cameras right now on the Siloam Springs camera is pretty much what you're going to see if you try to go outside and see this thing for yourself. So your safety comes first. Make sure that you get to your tornado safe spots immediately at this point here. So right now, I have not heard anything in terms of reports. I'll double check a couple of things here. I have not heard anything in terms of this thing being on the ground or anything like that. Just making sure that Kim's got us live right now, so we're good to go. So other than that, right now I have not heard anything official. We're going to treat this as if it was on the ground, like we do with every tornado warning. But right now, no news is good news in this particular situation here. So Van Buren, Dora, the Alma area over Interstate 40, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately here. So you guys give me just a bit. I'm going to try to see if we can get, I do believe I can get there we go, the RDOT camera up. And we're going to try to see if we can get a couple of areas, kind of take a look and see what we've got going on up here right now. So it looks like we got a good amount of traffic cams here. Let's see if we get lucky enough to kind of get one that looks towards the west. There we go. Alright, so we've got one that looks towards the west here. This is going to be a Lee Creek Road on Inset 3. Pretty much this is going to be on that Interstate 40 line. Let's see here. Let's go back over to it real quick. That looks east. Let's go back to that western view. So this is the western view right now here, and pretty much like I mentioned before, you're not going to really see, if this thing were to be on the ground, you're not going to see this, as clear as day like you would like in the plains or anything like that. This is going to be a circulation within the line itself. So by the time you see the circulation, you don't have time to seek shelter because it's pretty much right on top of you. So the community of Dora, Van Buren, over towards Kieber, Alma, Mulberry, anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 right now, need to get to your safe spots immediately. I'm going to leave that RDOT camera up. So that RDOT camera is looking straight into that area of rotation here. What we're going to do as well is I'm going to pull up let's see here. Let me go back to this real quick. All right, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a new track on this entire line of storms here, because not only is this thing going to be capable of producing, that tornado potential, but it's also going to be capable of producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So Fort Smith, this is pretty much on top of you right now. Van Buren, pretty much the same thing. The Kieber area over towards Rudy, Central City, it's going to be coming at you within the next 10 minutes. The Alma area coming at you right around the top of the hour. The Mulberry area and the Ozark area looks like it's going to be around 8:15 for Mulberry and 8:41 for the Ozark areas here. So it looks like right now, just based off of what I'm seeing, this is starting to what we call bow out. And what happens in this particular situation is this transitions from a damaging wind threat to, a tornado threat to a damaging wind threat here. So something that we'll keep an eye on here. I know the tornado warning still remains in effect. Let me see if we can do a quick favor. I should be able to go straight over to the Fort Smith radar, and we're going to get I'm about to tilt this because it's so close to the radar, but we should get a pretty decent view coming up here in just a second here if the radar didn't get knocked offline. There we go. So it looks like that area of rotation is going to be right here. Let's go over, kind of zoom in right through here, pretty much right over the community of Dora, and it's going to be right there on Ranch Road coming into western Arkansas here, pretty much coming into western Crawford County. This is just to the north and west of the community of Van Buren. Van Buren, like I said before, if you're traveling right now or you're at home, get to that safe spot immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. Also, looks like there's another area of rotation. This is just to the north of Fort Smith, pretty much right there on 540. We're going to keep an eye on here. Looks like we've got two areas of rotation that's trying to get going here. So, if you guys give me just a bit, I'm going to go ahead and pull over our rotation tool here. Give me 1 second. And this is what we're talking about here. So we've got one area that is pretty much just to the north and west of the community of Dora. That's right around just pretty much paralleling Interstate 40 right now. And then we've got another area pretty much centered right on 540 right now. This is just to the north of Fort Smith. So anyone in these areas, make sure that you're taking your tornado precautions now. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here, folks. not only with the tornado warning here, but we have another area that we're going to keep an eye on. This is going to go for our Mansfield, anyone that's traveling on Highway 71, Midland, the community of Hartford. We've got this area of rotation here that's just to the east and southeast of Highway 112 out here. This is in eastern Oklahoma. Gonna have to watch this situation closely as well, because it looks like we have another area of rotation that's trying to get going. And what I'm gonna do real quickly here, 974, not taking anything away from the ongoing tornado warning up there just to the north of it, but we're gonna put a track on this. So give me just 1 second. Looks like we're getting a new scan in, and I'm gonna put a track on this. So I'm gonna clock it right around 37 miles per hour. So Midland coming at you at the top of the hour. We also got Huntington is going to be coming at you at 8:08, and also the Mansfield area coming at 8:11 as well here, guys. Okay, so going to keep an eye on this. Like I mentioned before, it looks like this one's pretty much broadened out, but damaging winds will be a problem here, and that's something I do not want you guys to ignore today. I understand it's been a long spring. Everyone is so focused on that tornado, but this is going to be capable of producing damaging winds 60 to 70 miles per hour. So make sure that your devices are charged. Make sure you're ready for any potential power outages, especially my folks over here in western Arkansas at this current time here. Now, I'm getting a little concerned, especially just to the east of the 540 area. Looks like we've got two areas of rotation here, and it looks like the southern end, and this is typical whenever you start dealing with two areas of rotation. The southern end is always going to have the better inflow, the better moisture, etc. Gonna keep an eye on this here, and I'm gonna switch this over to our rotation strength here, and it looks like so for it's a little contaminated because it's so close to the radar. Let me see if I can tilt this up just a little bit. Let me see what it looks like when it's tilted up. Yeah, I'm not getting a good reading on this because it's so close to the Fort Smith's radar. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go back over to our other product because it's so close to that radar site. Let's take a look at this here, because there's the area of rotation near Dora, and it looks like there was one that was just... Give me 1 second here. It's going to take a second or two for it to load up. But something that we'll keep an eye on here, because it looks like there was two areas of rotation that was pretty much right along Interstate 540 right now here. So regardless of either rotation, if you're in this tornado warning right now, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to yourself and the outside as physically possible here, guys. Okay, so let me double take a look at one last thing here. Let me go back over. It looks like this is a low level and should be coming up here shortly. There we go. So yeah, looks like the latest scan just got rid of that rotation. I'm gonna keep an eye on that because it looks like there could have been a brief area of strong rotation that was right along Interstate 540. Looks like that newest scan is kind of broadened out that rotation, which is good, which is great news actually in terms of the tornado threat. But the damaging wind threat will still continue to be a problem here. So the community of Dora, Van Buren, anyone that's on 40 right now between Alma and Van Buren, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. When we talk about that, like I said before, if you're traveling right now, get to a gas station, a grocery store, and get to shelter immediately here. What I'd love to see here, by the way, we just got a brand new update. This is as of 8:15. It looks like this tornado has been observed. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quickly here. So this is the latest information from, yes, there we go. A tornado warning remains in effect until 8:15 for southwestern Crawford, northwestern Sebastian counties. At 7:47, a tornado-producing storms were located along the line extending from 3 miles northwest of Van Buren, 4 miles northeast of Fort Smith, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Damaging tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado with this storm. So Alma, Fort Smith, Rudy, Van Buren, the Concord area, Keber, Figure 5, and the Dora area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. This also includes Interstate 40 between mile markers 0 and 12, 1 and 17, and also Interstate 49 between mile markers 22 and 26 here. So apparently Roku is very blurry. I'm not sure what that issue is. Kim, I will look into that real quickly here and see what that issue is. But right now we've got a confirmed tornado that has been reported with this storm here. So folks, if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. That's anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 right now. You need to be taking your tornado precautions now here. So let me double check and make sure here. I've got our Roku device up over here. Let me double check and make sure. Okay, should be coming up here shortly. Because Kim said it was blurry on her end, so I'm trying to make sure. Okay, I see what's going on here. It looks like it's blurry on my end as well. So, give me just a minute, and let me see if we can try to fix that problem here. So, give me just a bit, and I'm going to turn that off here. So, Roku's going to go down for just a little bit. We're going to try to fix that problem. Is that a problem that we have on okay, so are we having that same issue on Roku, not Roku, on Facebook and YouTube as well? Or it's just Roku? Because I don't know if it's on either end. Kim, if you can let me know about that. But right now it looks like so before we've got that area of rotation that has been confirmed via weather spotters. I think what happened was, you guys saw it at about a couple of minutes ago. There was an area that was just off of Interstate 540, indicated some strong rotation here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our debris detection real quickly here. And I'm going to go back, because I think what ended up happening was, I think I saw for a brief second, it looks like it had shown that strong area of rotation. It was just off of Interstate 540, and then it went away. So I wonder if that was the confirmed tornado, or was it what the parent rotation that was right over Van Buren or the Dora area here. So we'll kind of look at this real quickly here. This is what we call the debris detection, and right now it looks like, if we could do me a quick favor, I'm going to do this. I'm going to watch this area that is just to the west of the Van Buren area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to match this up with our rotation detection here, and it looks like that might be debris fallout. If that's the case, that's going to be right over the Van Buren area here, guys. So I'm going to take this back a couple of frames, and it looked like for that brief second, and I'm going to go back here. Alright, so this is as of 7:43, and it looked like the looked like it was, like so forward. It looks like it was right just off of that interstate, and pretty much just to the west of Highway 59. It looked like it showed a very strong area of rotation here. So it was either this, or it was with the parent rotation itself here. So right now it looks like with the newest scan, that rotation has died off. Even the parent rotation itself, and keep in mind this is super close to the Fort Smith radar, it looks like that it is pretty much right over Van Buren here. So we'll read the newest alert. Like I said before, looks like we had some weather spotters in the area that did confirm the tornado here. That was 3 miles northwest of Van Buren to 4 miles northeast of Fort Smith, moving east at 55 miles per hour. That's going to be for the potential of a damaging tornado with this storm. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a track on this entire line here, because your problem that you're going to run into here is the fact that this is not a single supercell or a single area of rotation. This is associated along a line of storms here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a track for this entire Bow Echo, and I'm going to put it at about 40 miles per hour. So the Central City area, the Alma area, make sure this is lined out so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. There we go. So Central City, Alma, Ruding, the Dyer area, Mulberry, the Charleston area, Branch, Ratcliffe, Ozark, the Altus area over towards Paris, Coal Hill, Hartman area, and the Morris Bluff area. And also, I do realize as well, we got a lot of people that are camping, that are out, near the riverbanks and stuff like that this time of the year. Make sure that they're getting the heads up as well. So it looks like the tornado warning pretty much has been shrunk down to kind of include that parent area of rotation. I've put a track out for the entire line of the entire Bow Echo that is showing on radar here. I've put its entire track out here. So anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 right now, what my biggest recommendation would be is try to find a gas station, a grocery store, and try to get there as quickly as possible. Because regardless if this thing is still on the ground or not, this is going to be capable of producing 60 up to 70 mile per hour winds, straight line damaging winds here. So something that we'll have to continue to kind of keep an eye on here. But like I said before, right now, breaking news, we do have that tornado warning, and it has been observed via weather spotters in the area here. So something that we're going to continue to kind of monitor. What I'm going to do for a quick bit is I'm going to turn Roku back on, and Lori or Kim, if y'all can do me a big favor and kind of let me know if that changes. I'm not sure why Roku was blurry like that. I'm not sure what that issue was here, but I just turned it back on, so it should be working fine. Looks like it was working good on my end in terms of internet. So we'll see what that issue is once we get off the live stream. Facebook and YouTube, looks like we're good on both ends here. So we'll see what's going on with that here, guys. But yeah, right now it looked like we had that that tornado confirmed. We have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued until 8:30 here. Let's go ahead and kind of talk to you guys about this here. So a confirmed tornado here has been reported near the Alma area, central Franklin County, southern Crawford County, northeastern Sebastian County until 8:30. A confirmed tornado was located near Alma, moving east at 50 miles per hour here. So damaging tornado, radar confirmed tornado with this storm. This is going to be for the Alma area, the Dyer area, Turner's Bend, Rudy, also towards the Concord area, Mulberry, and also the Redding area, and also Ozark. This also goes between Interstate 40 between mile markers 6 and 42, Interstate 540 between mile markers 1 and 2, and Interstate 49 between mile markers 22 and 25 here. So to repeat, a tornado is on the ground with this storm. It has been radar confirmed. It is just to the west of Alma, moving east at about 55 miles per hour here, guys. 50 miles per hour here, not 55. A tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move into a basement or an interior room with the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outside right now, understand it is a Friday morning. Folks are trying to get to work, etc. If you are traveling right now or you're in a mobile home, you need to find the closest substantial shelter possible. To repeat, this is a tornado on the ground observed via radar. Get to shelter immediately here, especially my folks that live along Interstate 40 between Alma and the Ozark area at this current time. Kim or Lori, if y'all can do me a big favor and double check me on Roku, because Facebook and YouTube is fine. If Roku still has those problems, I'll have to double check and see what's going on after this live stream is over with. But at least we're live on Facebook and on YouTube here. So if you guys can do me a big favor that are watching this, by the way, make sure that you're getting this live stream out. I understand this is for our folks over here in northwestern Arkansas. The majority of our fan base comes out of central Arkansas here, but we've got folks that live out here in western Arkansas that are traveling on Interstate 40, etc. Make sure that you're getting this information out to them as much as possible here. But to repeat, we do have a tornado that is on the ground that is just to the west of Alma. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to our rotation detection here, and we're going to take a look at this here. So what's going on right now with it being so close to Fort Smith's radar, I'm going to go to Tulsa real quick, and I'm going to do this. Give me just a second here. I'm going to Tulsa's radar. Should be coming up here shortly. There we go. Alright, because it's so close to Fort Smith's radar, I think there may be some what we call contamination going on right now with that here. So we're going to use Tulsa's radar. It is just outside of Tulsa, but it looks like we've got that pretty much that broad area of rotation here, and it is radar confirmed, by the way, just to the southwest of the Alma area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to take off this, kind of make this, there we go, more of the interstate area here and also the county roads, and kind of clear off the screen so you guys kind of see what's going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a track on this storm here. If you give me just a minute, it's going to be right in here. So I'm going to put it for the entire area just to be on the safe side, because it looks like what's going on is you've got one area near the Van Buren area, near the Alma area, and then you got another area that is just to the south of Alma. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it looks like I'm going to put it at about, I'm going to go 50 miles per hour. So the Alma area, this is pretty much on top of you now. If you know anyone in these areas, make sure that they're taking their tornado precautions immediately. The Rudy area, Mulberry, Interstate 40, Ozark. This is going to be moving out of Crawford and Sebastian County, going into Franklin, and potentially making its way into Johnson County over here in western Arkansas. So to repeat, we have a tornado that has been observed via radar. This is not a situation that you need to go outside and try to make a TikTok video or anything like that. You're not going to see it, folks. I'm just going to be straightforward and transparent with you. You're not going to see the tornado. No matter how many times you try to go out and see it, you're not going to see it because it's embedded within the line of storms that is moving out from eastern Oklahoma into western Arkansas here. So right now, anyone that's traveling on Interstate 40 between the Alma and the Ozark area, out of Crawford and Sebastian County, going into Franklin County, You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. Get to that center, lowest part of your home. While you're there, by the way, grab a pillow, a blanket, mattresses, etc., and get there as quickly as possible here. So this is the ongoing tornado warning right now in Arkansas. Let me go ahead and kind of take a look downstream. Looks like this is the only area of concern right now. Looks like we have a couple of areas of rotation up here in Benton County, Washington County, Carroll County. None of this is warned right now, but we'll keep an eye on it here. We got an area of rotation that is in southwest Missouri. Other than that, looks like this entire line right now is behaving itself. This is just the problematic area here. And I think what's going on is you have the line of storms that's moving into western Arkansas, right? Well, what's going on here, there's a boundary that's been kicked out from said storms. Is what we call an outflow boundary. You're going to hear that term a ton, especially in this time of the year. Well, what's going on here is there's an area of rotation that we were watching coming out of eastern Oklahoma and into western Arkansas. What has happened is that area of rotation has and I'm pretty certain this has happened, it's latched onto that boundary, and when that process occurs, you can get a tornado to develop in that area here. So biggest thing is, those that are watching this right now, Interstate 40, I would be trying to find shelter immediately. That could be a gas station, restaurant, grocery store, anywhere that is substantial, that has a substantial building. Get there immediately at this current time here. Coming out of Crawford and Sebastian County, by the way, this will be moving into Franklin County coming up within the next 20 to 30 minutes here. But to repeat, for those that are just now tuning in, I am Chief Forecaster Cameron. This is Arkansas Weather Watchers. This is tornado warning live coverage. I'm going to send a push notification out on our app coming up here in just a little bit to kind of talk about the tornado warning right now. But this is observed, by the way, from the National Weather Service in Tulsa via radar. Anyone that is in the Alma area right now, give them a heads up. I understand, like I said before, it's 8 o'clock, first thing in the morning on a Friday. Give them a heads up. If they're not awake, if they don't know what's going on, make sure they know what's going on. I understand, like I said before, we got a lot of people that are from the Little Rock area, etc., that watch our page. If y'all could do me a big favor, get this live stream out. All you gotta do is hit that share button. When you hit that share button, it's gonna recommend it to those that may be in the area that are under that tornado warning right now here, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of zoom this back down. I'm using Tulsa's radar because Fort Smith is just so close. I'm not able to get a good reading on the rotation here. So right now, I would bet if there were to be a tornado here, and I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to get my keyboard back. Give me 1 second. I want to say it's going to be right over the Alma area here, guys. And I'm going to do this. Let me go back over a couple of scans. And it looked like for a brief bit, yeah, I would say it would probably be just to the south and southwest of the Alma area, moving east here. So it's going to be kind of hard to determine where exactly this area of rotation is, because right now, this is pretty much overlapping the Fort Smith radar and also the Tulsa radar here. But we're gonna trust the National Weather Service Tulsa's judgment. They're saying that there's a radar confirmed tornado right near the Alma area. We're gonna take it. We're gonna tell you guys, hey, this is what we've got going, and we need you guys to seek shelter in this area here, near the Alma area here, coming out of Crawford County, coming out of the northern Sebastian County area, and now moving into Franklin County at this current point here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to our rotation strength here, and let's do this, because it looks like this is going to give you an overall look on where this rotation is going to be. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take this entire area here, and this is what you have to keep an eye on here. It looks like that tornado warning has now been, and I'm going to put this very, 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 very loosely, it has been downgraded from a radar confirmed to now radar indicated. Now, I want to stress that does not mean that this tornado threat is gone. There's still a tornado warning in place. Pretty much what has happened is this has gone from being confirmed via radar to now being indicated via radar, meaning that there is rotation, there is still a danger for a tornado here. That doesn't mean it's completely gone away, but it's just something that we'll keep an eye on. And that's what I was trying to figure out, because right now it's between Fort Smith and the Tulsa radar here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this entire area that you see, and I'm going to put it to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So the Mulberry area, it is pretty much right on top of you. It's going to be on top of you within the next 4 minutes. Also, the Ozark area is going to be coming at you at 8:20. And also, the Ozone area is going to be coming at you at 8:49 this morning here, coming out of Crawford and Sebastian County, going into Franklin and into Johnson County here. This should say, right now, it is kind of riding along the Interstate 40. It should start to trend north of Interstate 40 as this continues to move out towards the east here. So what we're going to do, kind of tell you guys what pretty much where this is here. So this is Fort Smith. There's Russellville. There's the Morrilton area. This is no danger to anyone that is watching this in Central Arkansas right now. We get folks all the time that come in asking, this is for Little Rock or Hot Springs or etc. It's not for any of those areas right now. This is for our folks over here in Western Arkansas. Anyone that is watching this and is traveling from pretty much I'd say the Clarksville area, between Clarksville and Van Buren right now on Interstate 40. If you're watching this, you are under a tornado warning right now, and you need to be finding that substantial shelter immediately at this current time here. Also, haven't talked about this much, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in place until 10 o'clock this morning for much of western and northwestern Arkansas here, guys. Okay, so gotta keep an eye on this. Like I said before, we have to watch this entire line of storms. I talked about this last night in the evening video about the potential of seeing, these spin up embedded tornadoes along the line. This is kind of similar to what you would see this time of the year as we're making that transition from late spring and early summer. This is going to be the situation tomorrow as well, is that we're going to have another line of storms that are going to develop out west. It's going to move east. Have to watch for that tornado threat here, guys. So for right now, looks like this is what we call a radar indicated tornado warning here. Pretty much you have a couple of levels of how tornado warnings work. You have radar indicated, which is your base tornado warning. Then it'll start to go pink. That means that it has been observed either by radar or a human has literally physically seen this tornado on the ground. And then you get to another level, which is called a tornado emergency. Pretty much, it will be a life-threatening tornado that has been confirmed either by radar and/or a person moving into a highly populated area. So this is on that base level right now, meaning that there is still danger for a tornado to develop here. But right now, there's not a human out there that's observing a tornado, and the radar is not confirming a tornado right now here. It's just pretty much what you see on your screen. There's an area of generalized concern of the potential of seeing that tornado near the Mulberry area, Ozark, moving into Johnson County here, guys. So right now, as before, not taking anything away from the tornado warning itself. I'm going to zoom down and kind of give you guys kind of a perspective of where this is. So community of Alma along Interstate 40 right now. This is pretty much where that area of rotation is. This is east of Van Buren. So if you're watching this right now in Fort Smith or in the Van Buren area, you've probably, I'm not sure if the sirens are going off or anything like that. You guys are good to go. If you're in the Van Buren, the Fort Smith area, you are in the all clear in terms of this tornado threat. We get this all the time. I'll say all clear, and folks will be like, oh, it's still storming outside. This is just the all clear for the tornadic part of the storm. The severe weather, the thunderstorm threat is still going to continue. In terms of the tornadic part, you are in the clear for this, especially in the Van Buren, along Interstate 540 down to the Fort Smith area right now here. So something that we're going to continue to monitor. Like I said, for this tornado warning, still going to remain in effect until 8:30 this morning here. I'll read you guys some latest information here. It looks like the tornado warning for northeastern Sebastian County has been canceled. Tornado storm has moved out of the area. Therefore, the warning has been dropped. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 10 o'clock this morning for northwestern and west central Arkansas. A tornado warning remains in effect for remains in effect until 8:30 for central Franklin and southeastern Crawford counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Dyer, moving east now instead of 50 miles per hour. Now it's moving east at 30. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of, you see this broad area of rotation. Pretty much this is what we call our rotation strength. This kind of takes that product of your wind shear and any kind of, centralized rotation, and it kind of normalizes here and kind of give you guys a perspective of where exactly we're watching in terms of this potential tornado threat. And the Mulberry area is standing out right now, and also going into the Ozark and the Franklin County area here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a track. I did not mean to do that. My mouse slipped. Let's do this. I'm going to put a track. I'm going to put it at about 30 miles per hour here now. So Dyer pretty much is going to be on top of you within the next 8 minutes. Mulberry 8:25, and then the Ozark area right around 8:50 this morning here. So for those that are traveling, like I mentioned before, find that sturdy shelter. Do not try to go out and see this tornado for yourself. I want to make this crystal clear. You are not going to see the tornado whatsoever. Even if you are a trained spotter, you're not going to see it because it's going to be rain wrapped, embedded within the line of storms. This is what we call a kill CS type tornado here, and I'll put this in layman's terms. It is a brief, weak tornado that could develop along the line itself. This is pretty much what we've got right now. So you're not going to see it. If you do see a circulation, you're right on top of it, and it's too late for you to seek shelter here. So take this tornado warning seriously. Like I said before, I know it's 8 o'clock. It's the first thing Friday morning. Get those folks up if you know anyone that lives out here in Franklin County, Crawford County, anyone that is traveling on Interstate 40 right now, and make sure that they're seeking shelter immediately at this time here. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to move our RDOT camera over. And speaking of cameras, by the way, the one that is above that is the Siloam Springs camera. That is our in-house camera network. If you guys have any, this is a call out to any businesses that are watching this, I want you guys to consider that Skycam project that we talked about, because in situations like this where we have a tornado warning in place, you know, we're able to go in, kind of what we did with Siloam Springs earlier on. We're able to go in, look, and physically see if there's a tornado on the ground, etc. here. So that Skycam project is a lifesaver here. And like I said, for a quick shout out to Joint Forces K9 Group for sponsoring that camera up there in Siloam Springs and helping us out earlier on this morning when there was a tornado warning that was just outside of Siloam Springs this morning here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, there's a western view. I'm going to see, like I mentioned before, you're not going to see anything out of this. So this is probably going to be your best view. This is looking from Ozark to the west. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this, and I'm going to leave it on this screen here. This is pretty much right along Interstate 40. That's just, you're pretty much looking at from Ozark, looking west towards the storm here. And this is kind of what I've been mentioning this entire time. You're not going to see it. All you're going to see is a wall of rain and clouds moving your way. And by the time you see that circulation, it's too late. So right now, we'll keep an eye on it here, but you're not going to see it if you try to go out and spot the tornado yourself. So if you're under that tornado warning right now, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. I will say this is a little bit more of a calming presence. There's not a lot of people right now on the roadways. It is first thing Friday morning. Folks are either waking up, etc. Obviously, you've got your truckers out there, but I want you guys to look at this real quickly here, okay? There's a gas station right here. And you can see it as clear as day on that sign. If you're traveling right now, and you're going west, by the way, so you're going towards that tornado warning. If you're traveling right now and you see this, get to that gas station. That gas station is going to be a sturdy shelter. This is a perfect example. What I talk about all the time is when there's a tornado warning, you're traveling, you scout out your locations. You say, hey, there's a gas station coming up. Let's get there. If you can get to that gas station, that's going to be the best place to go in this particular situation when there's a tornado warning in place here. So, folks, if you know anyone that's traveling right now on Interstate 40, that's pretty much from this is looking from Ozark, by the way, Ozark West. So anyone that's watching this right now that's traveling on Interstate 40, that's going west, by the way, not going east, that truck, you can see that Ace truck is going towards the east. They're going away from the tornado warning, but that car that you just saw is going towards the tornado warning. So folks that are traveling, that are going westbound right now, make sure that they know that there's a tornado warning in place, and make sure that they're getting to shelter immediately here. But like I said before, for a Friday morning, traffic does look like it is pretty much kind of on the low end right now here. Either it's because it's very early in the morning on Friday, or there's a lot of people seeking shelter right now because there's a ongoing tornado warning in place here. So we only got about 15 minutes left on this set tornado warning here. I'm going to continue to kind of keep an eye on a couple of things. Let's take a look at the latest kind of over the last couple of scans here, and it continues to kind of show this broad area of rotation here. So Normally, if this thing was confirmed on the ground doing damage, we would start to see this thing go red and also go into the yellow area here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Right now, there's what we call a broad area. You got your mesocyclone. You've got a broad area of rotation here. Now, the tornado warning's in place for that reason, because if it starts to become consolidated, starts to become stronger, then this thing could drop a tornado at any given point. So whenever you look at those tornado warnings, by the way, where it says a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, pretty much this is what you're looking at. You're looking at your mesocyclone. You're trying to find a certain area. This thing, if it touches down, you'll start seeing it on our rotation strength. So what happens at that particular point is it goes from radar indicated to radar observed, or somebody physically sees it, and then you go from there. So right now, what I want you guys to do, anyone that is in Franklin County right now, you get to shelter, okay? You don't wait for this thing to touch down. You don't wait for this thing to get confirmed either by radar or by a human being. You get to shelter immediately here. That's the biggest thing that you want to do in this particular situation here. Now, the good news is, as this line continues to move to the east and to the southeast, it will start to become weaker because it starts moving away from the main forcing, and this line should start to fall apart as it moves into the central Arkansas area here, guys. So we got a new mesoscale discussion from the storm prediction center here. Damaging wind tornado threat should persist for the next few hours, pretty much highlighting the western and northwestern Arkansas area here. So now we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. It is now considerable, by the way, tornado possible, 70-mile-per-hour winds with this particular storm here. So let's go over to our radar here, and if we can do this, give me 1 second, and there we go. Alright, so there's our radar. It is pretty much right over the Mulberry area here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a track, kind of take it out to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So kind of echoing what we've been saying this entire time. Dyer, it is pretty much right on top of you right now as of 8:17 this morning. Mulberry is going to be coming at you within the next 7 minutes. Next 7 minutes. And in Ozark, if this broad area of rotation persists, should move into the Ozark area as we move into the 8:50 time frame here. Outside of this, I want to reassure everybody that is watching this right now, especially for folks that are watching this downstream in the Little Rock area, Conway, Searcy, Jonesboro, etc. This line of storms right now, outside of the tornado warning itself, pretty much has what's called special weather statements here. And I'll tell you what a special weather statement means. Basically, it is pretty much a statement. We'll call it that. It's a statement. It is right under a severe thunderstorm warning. It pretty much means it is capable of producing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. It is not considered severe. Keep in mind, severe thunderstorms are 58 mile per hour winds or greater, 1 inch hail, or if it's producing a tornado. So keep that in mind. But right now, the strongest part of this line is where that tornado warning is, and it's pretty much right over Franklin County at this current time here. So what I'm going to do, and I think we are far enough away from the Tulsa radar, I'm going to see if we can get this from Little Rock's perspective. It is just outside of Little Rock, so we're going to try Fort Smith. Should be just enough away from the radar itself. And what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of zoom this down and kind of take a look at here real quickly here. So there's going to be your area of rotation. Let's take a look at this real quickly. And right now, just based off of this, it looks like this area of rotation is kind of what we call broaden out. It is transitioned more into a damaging wind threat, and just like that, the tornado warning has been dropped per the National Weather Service in Tulsa. I was getting ready to say that it looks like this tornado threat has gone down rather significantly here, and it has. The tornado warning has been dropped. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for this area here, and it's going to go, I believe, until 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock. So, mainly a damaging wind threat, 70 mile per hour winds, tornado possible, thunderstorm damage threat considerable with this storm here. So now, if you're watching this, coming out of the Ozark area here, mainly it's going to be producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. It does appear, as it stands right now, the tornado threat has gone down rather significantly here, guys. And that's great news in terms of the tornado threat. Now, you flip, this is what we call a double-edged sword. You get rid of said tornado threat. Now you got to worry about the damaging wind threat here, guys. So those that are traveling, that are going westbound towards the storm, I still recommend that you kind of pull off, find a gas station, kind of let this storm pass through, because regardless of saying produces a tornado or not, this is still going to be producing 70-mile-per-hour winds as it continues to move on towards the east here, guys. So right now, as it stands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom this out and give you guys a statewide perspective of what's going on here. And then we're going to break away from coverage because this tornado warning has been dropped. Not concerned about any tornadoes right now. Tornado warnings have been dropped from the board. But what I'd like to do is kind of hang around for another 5 to 10 minutes in case another area starts to spin up and another tornado warning gets issued here, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over. I'm going to go over to our national view real quickly here. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this off and give you guys a perspective real quickly here, guys. So let me see here. This is going to be your area pretty much right through here. Let me go ahead and do this. There we go. Alright, so this is your statewide view right now. We talked about this last night in the evening video, and I talked to you guys about this first thing this morning. We've got a lot of storms pretty much stretched from northwest Arkansas all the way down into south central Oklahoma. This line of storms will weaken as it pushes towards the east. I'm going to make this clear. This line of storms will weaken as it moves into central Arkansas and into eastern Arkansas. As a matter of fact, I will do this, and I do believe I can do this on here on the screen. I can. That's awesome. Let's take a look at your futurecast real quick here. Kind of give you guys a quick look over the next 18 hours. I want to stress for those that are watching this right now, the tornado warning that was in place for Crawford, Franklin, and also Sebastian counties has been dropped off the board. We are no longer in tornado warning coverage here. This is me pretty much going over what to expect later on this afternoon and into this evening. We'll work on timing and all the other stuff coming up here in just a little bit. But I want to show you guys this because it's going to be coming up here shortly here. You can see that line of storms pretty much just falls apart. But there's going to be another line of storms that's going to develop out towards our west late tonight, coming into your Saturday, and that's going to bring similar threats. Damaging winds, large hail, and also that tornado threat here, guys. Okay, so let's take this out. Let me go back real quickly here. So pretty much, let's go to 8 o'clock this morning. And as you can see, there's your line of storms pushing in, and then you can see as we move into later on today, the line of storms pretty much gets into western, northwestern Arkansas. By the time it makes it into central Arkansas, it looks like it is going to be falling apart. I wouldn't rule out this line still producing some severe thunderstorm wind gusts of 60, possibly upwards to 70 miles per hour, moving into central Arkansas. We'll keep an eye on it, but it's going to be on a much weaker stage compared to where it is right now coming into western, northwestern Arkansas. This line falls apart. You're pretty much good. If you have any outdoor plans this evening, you know, if you're taking your spouts out for dinner, or you're going to a movie, or you're going to go watch something, you got any sports activities, something like that, you're going to be good. There could be some spotty showers, possibly an isolated thunderstorm or two, but you should be relatively good to go as we move into this evening and into tonight. And then let's take this out a little bit further, and we'll kind of zoom this out. Take a look out here, back out towards the west, out here in western Oklahoma, in the Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle, and southwest Kansas. This is going to be our next line of storms that's going to produce out here. It's going to be moving into Arkansas as we move in late tonight during the overnight hours and into the first part of your Saturday morning here, guys. So we'll have timing. I'll have an evening video for you guys this evening talking about this and everything like that here, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to our current radar real quickly here. Looks like we have that severe thunderstorm warning that's still in place. As it stands right now, everything is good to go. I have not seen any additional tornado warnings that have been issued. So right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to switch this back over to our normal 24/7 channel on Roku, Fire TV, and also on YouTube. And on Facebook, we're going to have radar updates coming at you within 30 minutes to an hour. We're going to keep an eye on this line of storms throughout the day today. This line, like I mentioned before, should start to fall apart as it moves to the east and into the southeast here, guys. If any additional tornado warnings get issued, we will be here and we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather. Thank you so much for watching this video. As a quick reminder, please support our sponsors. They make Arkansas Weather Watchers go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And also, if you would like to become a SkyCam sponsor, please contact us at